anything that you desire, that you want to manifest. If you want to manifest your specific person, if you want to manifest your healing, your health, healing, if you want to manifest your thriving purpose work, if you want to manifest travel, adventure, fun, freedom, all of it, all the roads, I don't care what modality you're using, all of it leads back to a change in the relationship with yourself. A change in the relationship with yourself. So what does that mean? That means how you talk to yourself. How you talk to yourself. How you feel about yourself deep, deep, deep down inside. How I feel about myself, my worthiness, my lovability, my feeling whole, feeling connected, self-trust, confidence, self-esteem, courage, vulnerability, authenticity, sincerity. How I feel about myself, because the feeling is the secret, right? Neville Goddard, the feeling is the secret, and it's the subconscious feeling. It's how you feel subconsciously about yourself, how you talk to yourself. And most self-talk is subconscious. So we have over 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day, and most of those thoughts go unchecked. They go they're unaware. The awareness isn't there. They're subconscious. What you believe to be true about yourself, how you see yourself, this is what makes up your concept of self. And based on your concept of self is how you're showing up in this 3D hologram. So how I'm showing up, my energy, my state of being, how I think, how I feel, my energetic state of being, how I'm showing up in this 3D hologram is being mirrored back to me in relationships, in health, in business, especially business. If you want to get on the growth, the fast track of growth mindset and becoming a higher version of self, start your own business. So what's showing up in your business, or not showing up in your business? Basically everything, because the hologram is you pushed out. It's you pushed out. So reality is me pushed out. So it's what I believe. It's how I talk to myself. It's my perception of reality. It's all being mirrored back to me in the form of the experiences, the people, the places, the things, or the lack of, right? So today is such a powerful, potent masterclass because all roads lead back to this. All modalities, all healing modalities, all self-development work, everything that is out there, it all leads back to this. And that's, if you want change, there's got to be a change in the relationship with yourself. There must be a shift in your self-concept, in your identity. That's what this is all about. So let's take a moment here to read some of these comments in the chat. So Leah says, manifesting an aligned 6-figure business. If you want to type in the chat, type in where you're coming from, what you're manifesting, what you'd like to get out of this masterclass. Bonnie says she's coming from Michigan. Oh, Malaysia. Bahavani is in Malaysia. Natalie, Utah, loving your language around all things energetic, manifesting a life partner. We've got India, Toronto, Connecticut, California. Get more inspiration and tips for my new business ventures and being true to me. Thank you for sharing, Lenova. Bonnie says, manifesting pure love. Specific person would be good too. And health, the whole 9 yards. Leah says, what I would like to get out of this masterclass is a new view of myself. I'm open to a breakthrough. Thank you for sharing. As we go through the masterclass, feel free to type in the chat. If you have a question, if you want to share, type it in the chat. And as I go through the masterclass, I will keep an eye on the chat. If I don't get to your question or if I don't get to your share, type it in our Facebook group. So our Facebook group is Manifesting Miracles Facebook group, and you can find the link in the email that was sent to you for this masterclass. Marianne says, solidifying my self-concept so I can do a career change, move in a relationship. I love it. So what I would like you to do is take a moment and let's become aware of self-talk. Let's become aware of beliefs. Let's become aware of how you feel deep, deep, deep down inside about a relationship, manifesting a relationship, about having a 6-figure business, about having a healed body, a sexy, fit, fun, energized, healed body. So let's take a moment and become aware. The first step to self-concept work, identity work, consciousness work, because my self-concept is what I'm most conscious of. So whatever I'm getting, whatever is showing up, whatever I believe is what I'm most conscious of. So past self Andrea was most conscious of, you have to work hard to make money. You have to be in a job to be safe, to be secure. You have to caretake, overgive, abandon yourself to be in a relationship so that somebody loves you. You have to let your body go because the other is more important. It's more important that I show up for others than I show up for myself. And all these, a lot of these, I would say I was maybe only conscious of one of these that I was sharing with you. And the one that I was conscious of was me having to work hard to earn money. I was very conscious of that one, very aware of that one. The other ones I became conscious of as I went through this work, as I practiced this work, as I refined and mastered this work. And this work is a journey. There is no end to this work. You will be in this journey of stepping into a higher version of self, a higher version of self-concept, a higher version of a better relationship with yourself till the day you depart this planet. And that's because there's always another higher version of you. There's always a more loving version of you, a more accepting version of you, a more validating version of you, a more at peace version of you. There's always another higher version of self. So let's take a moment here and just type it in the chat. What's coming up. If you don't want to type it in the chat and share, that's okay. Write it down. Grab your phone, type it in your phone. If you have paper, pen, write it down. type it on your computer, but let's take a moment here and become aware. How are you talking to yourself? Now, we're going to do this from a place of non-judgment. It's not good. It's not bad. It's not right. It's not wrong. It just is. It just is. And we must become aware of what is to start transmuting, alchemizing the past self version, the past self version. Because if you look at this, how you talk to yourself is actually in the past, right? So me witnessing, observing how I talk to myself, I'm actually observing the past. I'm not observing this now moment, because this now moment, you're listening, you're with me, or maybe you're doing something else. But anytime we observe, witness a past self way of being, that brings it more to our awareness, our consciousness, and we're simply observing it. So we're not going to go into a story about it. Oh, this is why I talked to myself like that, and this was my past. No, we're not going to judge it. We're not going to condemn it. We're not even going to say it's good. Right. What I would like you to do is just become aware of how you talk to yourself. How do you feel deep, deep, deep down inside about yourself? Do you feel like the lover could show up knocking on your door and that could work? Or does it have to be hard? Does it have to be, kind of like a cat and mouse game? Do I need to prove my worthiness to the lover? Do I need to be of value to the lover? What do you need? What should you do? What do you need to do? Is there trying? So all the shoulds, shouldn'ts, need tos, trying. I would like you to become aware of these ways of being and write them down. Get them outside of you. Because when they're outside of you, there's now space between you and it. And if there's space between you and it, that's an opportunity to transmute, to pick a tool, pick an exercise to assist in the transmuting, to assist in the reprogramming of the brain, the rewiring of the subconscious mind body, the inner child, expanding the nervous system. But the first step in all of self-concept work is awareness. That's the first step. Because if I'm not aware, if I'm not willing to look at it, if I'm not willing to be vulnerable and authentic with myself, then it will remain in the shadow. And it will stay a shadow aspect of me, of my consciousness. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing good. It's not good. It's not bad. It's not right. It's not wrong. It just is. And with each level of consciousness, I'm getting a different hologram, a different 3D reality dependent on my level of consciousness, So the question is, what do you want to create? What do you want to have show up? What do you want to attract? And then the next question is, we need to match the consciousness of that timeline with your level of consciousness. So if I already had my lover, my passionate, sexy lover, if I already had it, was already here, how would I talk to myself? How would I feel about myself? What would I believe to be true about myself? What paradigm would I be viewing reality from? So the first step is awareness. The second step is creating the new identity, the new self-concept, the new level of awareness, the new level of consciousness. So if I already had a six-figure business in my purpose work, how would I talk to myself? How would I see myself? How would I feel about myself? Deep, 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 deep down inside. How would I feel about myself? What would I believe about myself? So now it's my job to get to work to match that timeline's consciousness, because all timelines exist now in this moment. There is no past and there is no future. And scientists are actually coming out with really amazing data research on this, that there is no past, there is no future. There's only the now. There's only the eternal now. So what that means is that Andrea, who is married, who is traveling the world with her lover, doing her purpose work, making over $10,000 a month in her purpose work, who is having fun, who's in joy, who is healthy, has the healthy, the sexy, the fit body, that version of Andrea already exists. Now, if you would have told me that 3 years ago, over 3 years ago, when I was 40 pounds overweight, had 3 different addictions, was struggling with chronic disease, chronic pain, chronic illness, was in one toxic relationship after another toxic relationship after another toxic relationship, who was on the verge of I was on the verge of a heart attack. The doctor told me, Andrea, I have to put you on cholesterol medication because your cholesterol is that high that you might just have a heart attack any day now. I wouldn't have believed you. I wouldn't have believed you. This work is not logical. There's nothing logical about this work. We are stepping into the realm of the dimensional, the multi-dimensional. We are stepping into the realm of you realizing that you are a multi-dimensional being living a multi-dimensional life. What does that mean? That means at any moment in this now moment, I can witness a different dimension. I can witness a different timeline. I can quantum leap. I can quantum jump. I can have my healing happen in 3 weeks. I can lose 40 pounds in 3 weeks, heal my spine. I had very bad scoliosis. I was in physical therapy twice a week. I can have my cholesterol go all the way down. I can release the addictions. And it happened for me in 3 weeks. Now, I was in the work. I was doing the work for about a year, year and a half. And once you become the match, that's it. You're the match. It shows up because you're the match. Once you become the match, you're the match and it shows up. That's it. if you're talking to yourself as if it's already here, if you feel deep, deep, deep down inside that you're worthy, that you're enough, that you're lovable, that you're courageous, that you're brave, that you're confident, high self-esteem, bold, if you believe that this is who you are, this is who I am, I believe it, how will it not show up? How will it not? It doesn't make sense, right? It has to show up, and it will come in ways that blow your mind. It will come in ways that you least expect. Something you could never plan, something you could never control, something you could never manipulate. So it's a relaxing into, a surrendering into the new concept of self, the new identity, the new relationship with self. And this is where the tools come in. This is where the practices come in. This is where the work comes in. Because if your nervous system is in a state of contraction, which I think it's like 80% of people are in fight or flight, maybe more. If your nervous system is in a state of contraction, if you're attached to negative self-talk, if you're believing subconsciously thoughts that do not serve you, then what will happen is we'll just keep taking the past and we'll lay it on the present, and then that will become the predictable future. You'll never live in the unknown. You'll never live the adventure. You'll never do what your soul came here to do, and that's to live in the unknown, live in the adventure, surrender, let go, have the time of your life, and enjoy every single moment, including the challenging times, the stretch, including the meltdowns, the breakdowns, all that arises in this human experience. So it doesn't mean you suppress your emotions, you don't cry, you don't shake, you don't process them. It doesn't mean you don't have challenges or things show up unexpected. It means that we go deeper. It means that you go deeper into the work, deeper into the practices, deeper into mastery, refinement of the work, truly becoming the conscious creator of your reality. No longer the victim of your reality, no longer the subconscious creator of your reality. Let me know if this is landing. Let me know if this is resonating. Type it in the comments and let me know if there's aha moments here, if there's activation happening. Let me know how you're feeling. So Claudia is saying, yes, it totally resonates. Amanda is saying, yes. Leah, absolutely resonating. Melissa is saying, how do I release the inner pain and trauma deeply rooted that's keeping my subconscious in the pattern? That is a great question, Melissa. And we are going to go into that because that is just it. They're patterns. These are patterns. So the caretaking for me. So for me, it was caretaking. It was overgiving. It was abandoning myself for the other. And how you show up in one area of your life is how you show up in all areas of your life. So if that's how I am in relationship, that's how I'm going to be in my business. If that's how I am in my business, that's how I'm going to be with my health. That's how I'm going to be with my finances. because wherever you go, there you are. Wherever you go, there you are. You smear your energy over everything. You literally smear your energy over everything. Nothing changes until your energy changes. I don't care how much mindset stuff you do, how much journaling. I did all this. I went to the Tony Robbins events. I did the workshops. I journaled. I did therapy. I was in therapy. I was in a anonymous group, and nothing changed for me until my energy changed. And that's what we're gonna get into here very shortly. This is not an analytical process. This is not a beta brainwave process. We have to get into altered states of consciousness, alpha, theta, gamma. We must get into different brain waves, altered states of consciousness, to access the universe within you. The entire universe is within you. We live in a holographic universe. What that means is that each piece of the hologram contains the whole. So it's not outside of me. It's not in a beta brainwave, right? Because when I'm in beta, I'm analyzing. I'm thinking about the future. I'm thinking about the past. I'm focused on the hologram, right? I'm focused on my senses, what I smell, what I taste, the senses, hear, touch. And in order for me to change the program, to change the program that's running the computer, because we're over 95% subconscious, and it's the subconscious that's creating over 95% of your reality. I must access that program and change that program to what it is I do want to believe, to what it is, how I do want to feel, how I do want to talk to myself. I must raise the set point of me. I must raise the set point of me. So if my natural set point is kind of anxious, kind of worried, kind of, well, what about my job? What if I get laid off? What if what if they leave me? What if they don't show up? What if they don't call me back? So if that's my set point, well, if I want to see a new hologram, a new reality, which is just me pushed out, right? Because everything is consciousness. Everything is consciousness. It's all imagination, consciousness. This computer, this table, the particles are popping in and out of space a little over 8 times per second. I'm moving so fast that I appear to be still. The particles of me are popping in and out of space a little over 8 times per second. It's a hologram. It's all a hologram. So if I want to shift, then I must shift the operating system, my set point, my state of being, by accessing the subconscious mind, interacting with the field, changing the patterns in the field. So there's different patterns in the field that are making up the illusion of Andrea. And this is why people have spontaneous healings. You know, you hear about these people who they're eat up with cancer. All of a sudden they have a spontaneous healing, the cancer's gone. You can Google hundreds of stories. You can do all the research, Google. There's so many testimonies, so many stories. What's happening? What's going on here? How is that even physically possible? All is possible with this work. All is possible with refinement, mastery, going deeper into yourself. It's all within you. It's all inside of you. There's nothing out there. There's really nothing out there. It's all within you. It's all inside of you. So Claudia says, caretaking and overgiving, such an important point. I'd love to change 180 degrees. How to start that transmuting. Thank you for sharing, Claudia. Bonnie says, I don't know how to change the beliefs and the patterns. Lenova says, yes, yes, totally resonating. Natalie says, yes. Amanda, yes, yes. Marianne says, solidifying my self-concept so I can do a career change, move in. Yes, we already read that one. Yes, Marianne, so exciting. So this is where meditation comes in. Now there's different types of meditation. There's thousands of different types of meditation out there. Now, the meditation that for the context of this class, for the context of this masterclass, for the context of what it is that we're sharing about, the meditation that the technique or the skill, the practice that you must embody is dropping into an alpha brainwave, theta brainwave. So how do we do that? So there's actually quite a few different brainwave states, and scientists are actually discovering different brainwave states. I did a great post on this. So there's more information coming out every day on brainwaves, brainwave states. And the basic ones that you need to know is beta, alpha, theta, and gamma. Those are the basic brainwave states that you want to become aware of, want to know about, and most importantly, access. Beta is your normal waking state for your average person. So you're thinking about, what am I going to do after this masterclass? Or it's right now you might actually be in a little bit of alpha if you're present, if you're really present with me here right now. But beta is analyzing. Beta is thinking. So beta is, I'm thinking about what I'm going to do next. How is that going to work? How is that going to analyzing? And then we have high beta. There's different levels to these brain waves. And high beta is, oh my gosh, there's not enough time. That's not going to work. How am I going to pay my bills? I need to take the kids here. I need to do this. I just don't have enough time in the day. Oh, I'm overwhelmed. I'm stressed. I have no time for myself. That's a high beta brainwave. And then we have very low beta. And then we have alpha. Alpha is safety, security, resourcefulness, creativity. Alpha is when we go from a narrow focus to an open focus. Alpha is when the inner world is more real than the outer world. Theta is hypnosis. That's the hypnosis brainwave. So theta is the subconscious mind wide open. Wide open. You have no analytical processes in theta. So whatever is suggested to you, the subconscious mind will accept, believe, and surrender to that. in a theta brainwave. And then you have gamma, and gamma is very exciting. That's maybe one of my favorite brainwaves, gamma. Gamma is super consciousness. It's actually faster than beta. It's a faster brainwave than beta, but it's not stress. So the arousal is a different kind of arousal. It's an ecstasy. It's a bliss. It's a pure joy. It's a super consciousness. You're connected to everything, everywhere, all at once. The monks call gamma the sweeping wave. The sweeping wave. Gamma is that's where you bend reality. Gamma. That's where you bend reality. That's where you change patterns in the field to get a different hologram. There's a great study on this. They took a group of healers, monks, and they asked them to unwind DNA with a crystal clear intention and an elevated emotion. When they combined the crystal clear intention with an elevated emotion, ecstasy, gratitude, joy, gamma brainwave, right? Gamma brainwave, the DNA unwound by over 20% at a remote location. Imagine what would happen with your specific person if you mastered this. Imagine what would happen with your business if you mastered this. Imagine what would happen with your health, your body. Imagine what would happen with your money, your finances, travel, freedom. Imagine the possibilities. And we're just getting started. We're literally just getting started. We're just tapping in. People are just becoming aware of this information. So meditation is very important because meditation allows us to slow the brain waves, to access altered states of consciousness, to get in the program, So if I'm talking to myself, if my default is a negative self-talk, which it was, and I'm not perfect, I'm still in the journey, just like you. But I always doubted myself. You would have told me, Andrea, this is I would have said, no, there's no way. I need to stay at my job. I need to make sure I have safety and security, make sure I have steady income. I have to overgive. I need to caretake my partner. Otherwise, they're going to leave. I'm not valuable. I'm not enough. I'm not. And most of this was subconscious. So I was aware of a little bit of it, but most of it was subconscious. So the meditation is so important because it opens your awareness and you become more conscious of the subconscious. You're also accessing different brainwave states. So you're opening the subconscious mind. You can reprogram the subconscious mind in theta. You'll have wild ideas, downloads, transmissions in alpha. In gamma, you'll do things that are supernatural in gamma. And when we're changing our identity, when we're changing our self-concept, we cannot do it in a beta brainwave. You cannot do it in a beta brainwave. In beta, you are the program. In beta, you are the program. In these altered states of consciousness, you're outside the program. You're observing the program. You're firing in how it is you do want to talk to yourself in theta, in a theta brainwave. How it is you do, what do you want to believe about yourself in a gamma brainwave? How do you want to show up? So meditation is doing a few different things when it comes to changing your self-concept. It's bringing more awareness to the limiting beliefs, the negative self-talk. It's allowing you to get outside the program and rewire what it is, how you do want to talk to yourself, how you do want to feel about yourself. It's allowing you to expand the nervous system, a lot of emotional processing trauma, processing PTSD, processing old trapped stuck energy in the body. It's allowing you to bend reality. So getting into ecstasy, getting into bliss, getting into an orgasmic state. And I don't mean sexually, I mean emotionally. I mean the brain and heart orgasm. If you're familiar with the brain and heart orgasm, type it in the chat. I want to know how many people are familiar with the brain and heart orgasm, the Kundalini awakening, whatever you want to call it. But there's something called a brain and heart orgasm. Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches this. Greg Braden teaches this. Bruce Lipton. Yes. Okay. So Claudia is, yes. Familiar with it? Yes. Natalie. Okay. No. So let's chat about that for a moment here. So the brain and heart orgasm, it's when you take all the energy from the first center, the creative center, the life force energy. So all that energy that you use to make a baby, you use to release fluids, go to the bathroom, right? All these different things that happen down there. You can draw that energy up. And this is just a practice. Anybody can learn to do this. If you stay consistent and practice and really hone in on this, you will have an experience. It's just your consistency, practice, sincerity, vulnerability with yourself, opening your heart. And you can draw all that energy up and you can bring that energy to the heart. Once the energy hits the heart, it goes to the brain. And you have an ecstasy, a bliss, an orgasmic moment that's not sexual. And you're in these high gamma brain waves. And you're connected to everything, everywhere, all at once. Now, if you're connected, is there lack? No. There's no lack because you're connected. Is there separation? No, there's no separation because you're connected. Now, in that state, if you can imagine your specific person, if you can use your imagination in that state, you're imagining your specific person, you're imagining your lover, your thriving purpose work, your six-figure business, you're imagining your healed body. You're celebrating, you're imagining that you're celebrating your healed body, you're dancing, you're ecstatic. What dimension are you doing that from? Are you doing it from the third dimension? Because the third dimension, there's time and space. There's separation. Now, there is no real separation. Everything is connected. You're never separated. There is no separation. There is no lack. In the third dimension, we have time and space. In the fourth dimension, we have time. In the fifth dimension, there is no time and there is no space. You think a thought in the fifth dimension and it's there. It's instant in the fifth dimension because there's no time and there's no space. So the third dimension is really a gift because imagine if you just thought something and it showed up. That could be really good or really bad, right? So the third dimension is a gift because it allows us the opportunity to learn to consciously create reality. To consciously create reality with our thoughts, with our feelings, with our state of being, and to trust and surrender into the new concept of self. And from that concept of self, the byproduct is the lover shows up. The lover's banging down your door. You're married. Your ex comes back. Whatever it is, your body heals. The money's in the bank. The purpose work is thriving. It's taking off. It's booming. So number 2 is subconscious reprogramming, which we kind of went into a little bit in number 1, which is meditation. Number 2, subconscious reprogramming. So the subconscious is developed from age 0 to 7. Whatever you witnessed, whatever you experienced, whatever you watched was downloaded into you as a program. And that became your view, your beliefs, your self-talk. Self-talk comes from beliefs. So what I believe about myself is how I'm going to talk to myself. What I believe to be true about myself is how I'm going to talk to myself. This all was downloaded into you from age 0 to 7. Hypnosis brainwave. You're in theta. You're in theta from age 0 to 7. And you're in delta. We didn't talk about that brainwave. You're in delta, or maybe it's 2 to 7 is theta. 0 to 2 is delta. Delta is a whole nother brainwave. Delta, you're in delta when you're in the womb. When you're in the womb. And then I believe it's 2, you start going into theta, somewhere around there. 2, somewhere around there, you start going into theta. That's hypnosis brainwave. And then 7, as you get older, you go into alpha. And then you come into beta. Now, it's the subconscious mind that's creating over 95% of reality. So you can want something, you can want, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to do, this is what's happening. But if your body is on a completely different program, if your subconscious mind is on a completely different program, you're going to have major resistance. You're going to have major static resistance. It will show up as blocks. It will show up as self-sabotage. It will show up as procrastination. It will show up as hiding, playing small. It will show up as saying you're going to do something, do it for a while, and then you go back to the past self way of being. So subconscious reprogramming in the proper brainwave, that's the key, because you can't do this in beta, right? We can't do it in a beta brainwave. We have to be we have to be in some kind of altered state, a theta brainwave, gamma, alpha. You can do reprogramming in any of these altered states of consciousness. It's going to be a different reprogramming, but theta is the brainwave to reprogram how you see yourself. What do you believe about yourself? How are you talking to yourself? How do you feel deep, deep, deep down inside about yourself? Now, there's something really interesting with the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is developed from age 0 to 7. Well, that's a child, right? is 0 to 7 is, or 2 to 7, that you're a child when the subconscious mind is developed. The subconscious mind is the inner child. The subconscious mind is the inner child. And until you get in there and change those beliefs, rewire, reprogram, you will continue to create your childhood over and over and over again. You will recreate your childhood. So if you witness struggle, if you witnessed your parents fighting, it was a toxic relationship, or maybe mom didn't get the love that she desired. Maybe mom didn't get the communication. Maybe mom didn't get her needs met. And you watched that. You watched your mom not having communication, not getting her needs met, not going on dates and romantic and this and that. And now you're an adult and now you want that. I want communication in my relationships. I want the person to desire me back and to give me affection, give me attention, give me love. So the conscious mind is here and the subconscious mind is way over here on a completely different program, because that's not what the subconscious mind believes. That's not what the conscious mind or the subconscious mind is operating from. The subconscious mind is operating from a program of mom doesn't get her, you don't get your needs met in a relationship. You don't have communication, strong communication in a relationship. You don't have somebody wild about you in a relationship. So we must take these two conscious, and there's actually, for the concept of this master course, let's just say 2, just to keep it simple. We must take these two aspects of consciousness and merge them into one. We must get your conscious mind and your subconscious mind in alignment, going the same direction, because if they're not going the same direction, what's going to happen? What kind of relationship are you going to attract? What's your specific person going to do? What's the business going to look like? What's the finances going to look like? The body, the health. So there is no bypassing this. There is no skipping this. There is no, oh, Andrea, I've tried it. It doesn't work for me. No, there's none of that. You must master this. Refinement, mastery. You must go deeper. And continue to practice, continue to get better, continue to refine, master, practice, get better. And the higher version of self that you step into, the higher version of reality you will be the witness to. So the higher version of self you step into is the higher version of reality you will be the witness to. It's never the other way around. There's no way around this. I tried everything. Trust me, I know. I did it all. I did the therapy. I did the Tony Robbins events. I pounded on my chest. I ran across coals. I did all of that. And yes, it worked for a little bit. And then guess what? I would go back and I would go back to my past self and I would sink even deeper into addiction, into what's wrong with me? I must really just not be good enough. Like I just really must not. The negative self-talk got worse. I'm giving you gold right now. I'm giving you the keys to the kingdom right now. If you can, which you can, it's just a practice. We can all do this. There was once a time when you couldn't drive a car. What was it like the first day you got in a car? What happened? Could you drive the car the first day you got in a car? Now you can probably drive the car, make a phone call, eat something, brush your hair, and put your shoes on all at the same time. This is the exact same thing. There's no difference. It's just a practice, a refinement, a skill, going deeper and falling in love with the journey, falling in love with the actual practices, tools, and exercises to change the relationship with yourself. The third thing I'm going to bring up here is releasing trapped emotions from the body. That's the third thing I'm going to bring up. We could go on for hours with this, but I want to keep it at a potent and good time for everybody. So the last thing we'll talk about here is suppressed emotions, trapped emotions. Emotions, energy, if not fully felt, fully experienced, fully present with, become stored in the body. And they block what's called the chakras or energy centers. Chakras, energy centers. And when these little energy centers, which actually have neuroplexes, they have neuroplexes. What does that mean? That means they're like a mind. They're a mind. They're thinking. They're thinking. They're a mind. They're a mind. Each energy center is a different level of mind. So if I am holding guilt and shame in my body, guilty, feeling guilty, shame, and I could have suppressed it from a child. I could have suppressed it recently. It doesn't matter. The story doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the circumstances. What matters is that you go to work on releasing the stored energy in the energy center. So if I don't feel safe, if I don't feel secure, if there's something going on sexually, right? The first energy center is safety, security, sexuality, money. The first energy center is money because money is safety, right? Money is safety. If there's something going on in one of these areas, I don't feel safe with myself. I don't feel safe to commit. I don't feel safe to go all in on my business. What if I fail? What if I get rejected? Whatever's going on, you've got to go to work on that energy center, releasing the trapped, suppressed emotions of guilt, shame, unsafe, unsecure, so that that energy center flows properly again. It's called chakra because chakra means wheel, spinning wheel in Sanskrit. So this wheel, this energy center starts to spin properly again, and you feel safe. You feel secure. You can say yes to that commitment. You don't have to go out and try to prove yourself. You don't have to go out and try to overgive, caretake, prove your worth, because you feel safe with who you are. You know your worth. You know you're good enough. You're confident. Even when people don't like you. Even when people say, I don't like you. Even when somebody posts something mean on social media, it doesn't affect you. I remember years ago, somebody would comment something mean on my social media, it would knock me out for 2 weeks. I was out for 2 weeks. Now, people comment something mean on my social media all the time. I have over 30,000 people on that Instagram account. It just blew up out of nowhere. People have opinions. People are going to be people. And it's your job to stay in your energy despite the 3D circumstances. It's your job to, okay, if I'm triggered, if that triggered me, okay, let me excuse myself and go do the work. To release the abandonment, to release the guilt, to release the shame, to release the I'm not good enough, whatever's coming up. Releasing suppressed, repressed emotions. Nothing changes until our energy changes, period. It's not beta, it's not analytical. It's your actual body. It's your energy centers, your chakras. Because these are minds. These are minds. These affect how you think. They affect how you feel. You can do affirmations all day, but if your first energy center is blocked, you're not going to feel safe. You're not going to feel secure. Money is not going to stick around. There's different levels and layers to this work. There's different levels and layers to worthiness, to abundance, to wholeness, to thriving, to confidence, to courage, boldness, fun, adventure, peace. There's different levels and layers to this work. Stretch yourself and challenge yourself to go a little deeper each day with consistency, sincerity, joy for the process, joy for the practices, fun. So we'll wrap it up there. We're a little past an hour now, and the sun is coming through. That's our sign. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up today. I do have a self-concept lover specific for, it's going to be called Lover, specific for attracting, manifesting your specific person, starting very soon. So the program that I have coming up, it's called Lover, and it's going to be about becoming that identity, becoming that version of self, changing your self-concept to put yourself first, to talk to yourself the way that you want to talk to yourself, to feel about yourself the way that you want to feel about yourself, to be that version of self who is confident, who is in self-love, who is magnetic. So we'll be starting that very soon. And the really exciting thing about this is it's going to be in my membership, Creating in the Quantum Field membership. So I decided to do Black Friday for one more day because I had some people that still wanted to take advantage of Black Friday specials. So what I'm going to do is, if this resonates with you, if you're like, yeah, I'm ready, let's go, let's do this, I'm doing a special where you can join my Creating in the Quantum Field membership for only $67 a month. We meet twice a month live for meditation, breath work to deepen, refine the practices of meditation and breath work. We meet for energy alchemy session where we transmute energy from the body. And we're also going to be doing bonus modules in my membership. And one of the bonus modules is going to be Lover. So that will be our first bonus module where we go through how to be the greatest love of your life to attract that specific person, how to shift your self-concept, the way you talk to yourself, your identity, how you feel about yourself, what you believe about yourself, to magnetize not just people, places, experiences, divine timing, divine alignment. Your whole reality will shift when you do this work, because it's an inside out game. It's not an outside in game. So if you'd like to take advantage of that, that will be good till midnight tonight. And then from there, it will go to $97 a month, or maybe even $137 a month. I'm not sure yet, but it will raise. This is the lowest it will ever be. It's still growing, smaller group. So it's the perfect time to get in. You also get access to over 40 hours of meditation, breath work, becoming more energy, less density, things like high vibe foods, earthing, all the things that you need to know about becoming more energy, less density, to actually amplify your meditations, to expand your nervous system, to create real change in the field, to bend reality. Over 40 hours of content on all of that. And then we meet twice a month live. And then we're doing bonus modules, and Lover is going to be the first bonus module. If you just want to join Lover, you can. So right now I'm doing a pre-sale, or a pre-sale for Lover. And the pre-sale for Lover is going to be 222 for the pre-sale. 222. So message me if you'd like to jump in. And thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the great interaction. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.